Konnichiwa minasan. Welcome to my channel, Eric's Nihongo Lessons. In this lesson, we conjugate the TSU-ending verb MOTSU to hold, own, or have in 100 different ways. In conjugation is very common in everyday Japanese and that we've covered in past lessons. If you can properly conjugate MOTSU, you can conjugate any TSU-ending verb. This is part 2 of 4 parts covering conjugations 27 to 50. Yoroshii desu ka? Hajimemashou. From lessons 35 to 110, we learned over 100 kinds of various verb conjugations that allow you to express one verb into many different ways in Japanese. And this lesson attempts to summarize most of them by focusing on just one verb. In this lesson, we conjugate the verb motsu, which means to hold, own, or have. We use the dictionary form motsu as well as its te form motte, conjunctive form mochi, the plain negative non-past form motanai, as well as the plain past form motta. At this point, I assume you have mastered how to make these forms. If not, you can review how to in lesson 29. In this lesson, we continue with conjugations 27 to 50 and give a sample sentence of each. The conjugations covered in this video are to sometimes do, giving suggestions and advice, expressing ability, the different expressions of while, the different expressions of when, expressing conditionals if or when, must, the more the better, and to do too much. If you want to help me make more free videos like this, you can be a partner by giving a donation via PayPal. Eric's Nihongo Lessons. That's ERICS without the apostrophe, Nihongo Lessons. The link is found in the description box below. 27番 Occasional Occurrence. Formula ることがある ることがある Lesson 55. Sometimes hold or sometimes own. 持つことがある持つことがある She sometimes holds my hand when we cross the road. 彼女は道を渡るとき、私の手を持つことがあります。彼女は道を渡るとき、私の手を持つことがあります。28番 Advice and Suggestion. Formula た方がいいた方がいい Lesson 56. It's better to hold or own. 持った方がいい持った方がいい It's better to have your own laptop than borrow from the library. 図書館から借りるより自分のパソコンを持った方がいいです。図書館から借りるより自分のパソコンを持った方がいいです。29番Still an advice and suggestion. It's better not to. Formula ない方がいいない方がいい Still in lesson 56. It's better not to own or hold. 持たない方がいい持たない方がいい Some people think that it's better not to have kids. 子供を持たない方がいいと思う人がいます。子供を持たない方がいいと思う人がいます。30番 Ability Long Version. Formula ることができるることができる Lesson 57. Can own or can hold. 持つことができる持つことができる Because you're still young, you can still have kids. 君はまだ若いから子供をまだ持つことができる。君はまだ若いから子供をまだ持つことができる。31番 Ability Shortcut. Formula for category 2 or last hiragana changing verbs is to change the last hiragana into the E series plus ru. So tsu becomes te plus ru. Teru. Lesson 57. Have the ability to own or hold. moteru, moteru. In same sentence, because you're still young, you can still have kids. Kimi wa mada wakai kara, kodomo mada moteru. Kimi wa mada wakai kara, kodomo mada moteru. 32番 while. And this is the while that we use when one person does two things simultaneously. Formula is conjunctive form of the verb plus nagara. Nagara. Lesson 58. While holding or while owning, mochinagara. Mochinagara. He was dancing while holding the camera. Kare wa kamera o mochinagara odotte imashita. Kare wa kamera o mochinagara odotte imashita. 33番 while, referring to being in a particular state. Formula ta mama. Ta mama. Lesson 59. While in a state of having held or owned. Motta mama. Motta mama. During the war, I fell asleep while holding a knife. Sensou no toki, knife o motta mama nemutte shimatta. Sensou no toki, knife o motta mama nemutte shimatta. 34番 which is the opposite of 33番. While in a state of not doing. Formula is nai mama. Nai mama. Still in lesson 59. While in a state of not holding or not owning. Motanai mama. Motanai mama. It's impossible to study English without having any interest in it. Kyoumi o nani mo motanai mama, eigo o benkyou suru no wa muri desu. Kyoumi o nani mo motanai mama, eigo o benkyou suru no wa muri desu. 35番 still on while doing. And this is while where two simultaneous actions are done by different people. Formula is teiru aida or teiru aida ni. Lesson 60. While holding or owning, motteiru aida or motteiru aida ni. The display won't turn off while you hold the cell phone in your hand. Keitai o te ni motteiru aida wa display ga kiemasen. Keitai o te ni motteiru aida wa display ga kiemasen. 36番 before someone does or while not doing. Nai uchi ni. Nai uchi ni. Still in lesson 60. While not holding or while not owning. Motanai uchi ni. Motanai uchi ni. We want to travel abroad while we don't have children. Watashi tachi wa kodomo o motanai uchi ni kaigai ryoko o shitai desu. Watashi tachi wa kodomo o motanai uchi ni kaigai ryoko o shitai desu. 37番 when just before doing. Ru toki. Ru toki. Lesson 61. Just before holding or just before owning. Motsu toki. Motsu toki. Because of thorns, put on gloves just before holding the durian. Toge ga aru no de, dorian o motsu toki, tebukuro o shite kudasai. Toge ga aru no de, dorian o motsu toki, tebukuro o shite kudasai. 38番 when I'm in the process of doing something. Teiru toki. Teiru toki. Lesson 61. When in the midst of owning or holding. Motteiru toki. Motteiru toki. I'm happiest when I'm holding your hand. Kimi no te o motteiru toki ga ichiban shiawase desu. Kimi no te o motteiru toki ga ichiban shiawase desu. 39番 when I just finished doing something. Ta toki. Ta toki. Lesson 61. When right after owning or when right after holding. Motta toki. Motta toki. Wash your hands right after handling the fish. 魚を持ったとき、手を洗ってください。魚を持ったとき、手を洗ってください。40番 The first of the conditionals, if, when, doing. ると、ると。Ruto is used when our condition has something to do with math, logic, or natural phenomena. Lesson 62b. If or when you own or hold. MOTSU to. If you have a job, it's hard to find free time. 仕事を持つと、暇な時間がなかなか取れない。仕事を持つと、暇な時間がなかなか取れない。41番 The negative version of the previous conjugation. If you don't do. ないと、ないと。Also, lesson 62b. If or when you don't own or hold. 持たないと、持たないと。If you don't have a calculator during the test, you won't finish on time. テスト中に電卓を持たないと時間うちに終わりません。テスト中に電卓を持たないと時間うちに終わりません。42番 The second way to conjugate a conditional, if or when you do. And this is used when the main sentence is a request, volition, or command. Formula たら、たら、lesson 62c. If or when you own or have. 持ったら、持ったら。If you have an interest in going to Europe, let's go together. 君がヨーロッパへ行く興味を持ったら一緒に行こう。君がヨーロッパへ行く興味を持ったら一緒に行こう。43番 The negative version of たら if you won't do. なかったら、なかったら。Also, lesson 62c. If or when you won't own or have. 持たなかったら、持たなかったら。If you don't have a calculator, please borrow from a friend. 電卓を持たなかったら、友達に借りてください。電卓を持たなかったら、友達に借りてください。44番 The third way to form the conditional is used for when the information comes from the speaker, as in, let me tell you. For category 2 or last hiragana changing verbs, the last hiragana changes to the E series and you add ba. Lesson 62d. If or when you own or hold. Moteba. Moteba. If you own a car, you need insurance. Kuruma o moteba. 保険が必要になる。車を持てば保険が必要になる。45番 The negative version of the ba form. If or when you don't. And the information comes from the speaker. I'm telling you. Formula ない becomes なければ。なければ。Also in lesson 62d. If or when you don't own or hold. 持たなければ。持たなければ。If you don't own a car, you don't have to worry about parking. 君が車を持たなければ、駐車場を心配しなくてもいい。君が車を持たなければ、駐車場を心配しなくてもいい。46番 The fourth way to form the conditional. Formula is full conjugation of the verb plus nara. Nara. We use nara when the information in the if-when statement comes from the listener. It's like saying, as you say. This is found in lesson 62e. If or when you own or hold, as you say you will. MOTSU nara. MOTSU nara. If you want to own an electric car, as you say, Tesla is the best. 電気自動車を持ちたいなら、テスラが最高です。電気自動車を持ちたいなら、テスラが最高です。 47番 Negative version of the earlier conjugation. And again, the information is coming from the listener, if you say so. Formula: nai form of the verb plus nara. Lesson 62E. If or when you won't own or hold, as you say, motanai nara, motanai nara. If you don't own a car, as you say, then how do you get to work? Kuruma o motanai nara, dou yatte shigoto ba e ikimasu ka? Kuruma o motanai nara, dou yatte shigoto ba e ikimasu ka? 48番 The must conjugation. There are over 10 ways to express this, as explained in lesson 63. But here, we'll use the formula nakute wa ikenai. Nakute wa ikenai. Must own or hold. Motanakute wa ikenai. Motanakute wa ikenai. Because the stairs are slippery, you must hold firmly onto the handrails. Kaidan ga suberi yasui no de, shikkari tesuri o motanakute wa ikemasen. Kaidan ga suberi yasui no de, shikkari tesuri o motanakute wa ikemasen. 49番 The more the nantoka nantoka. Formula: baru hodo. Baru hodo. Lesson 64. The more you own or hold, the more nantoka nantoka. Moteba motsu hodo. Moteba motsu hodo. The more you have, the more you want. Takusan moteba motsu hodo, motto motto hoshiku naru. Takusan moteba motsu hodo, motto motto hoshiku naru. 50番 To do too much. Formula is conjunctive form of the verb plus sugiru. Sugiru. Lesson 65. To own or hold too much. Mochisugiru. Mochisugiru. Owning too many things only creates stress for yourself. Mono o mochisugiru no wa jibun jishin ni stress o umidasu dake desu. Mono o mochisugiru no wa jibun jishin ni stress o umidasu dake desu. To summarize, in this lesson we demonstrated the use of the following conjugations. Sometimes do, advice, ability, the different ways to express while and when, the 4 conditional conjugations expressing if or when in both the affirmative and negative, the conjugation for must, the more the better, and to do too much. In the next lesson, we will conjugate the same verb using the following conjugations: the giving and receiving of actions. No longer. Tokoro, to denote points in time, expressing purpose, decisions, guessing and probability, and using the pseudo-nouns hazu, wake, noni, and keredomo. If you would like to make a donation, simply click on the PayPal link in the description box, and for a minimum $10 donation, I can send you the list of 100 conjugations in this series with their formulas, or any of the exercise sheets from any of our previous lessons up to lesson 113 via email that I'll personally check and provide feedback on. Thank you for your support. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. If you're serious about becoming fluent in Japanese, it's important to practice daily, learn grammar, and build up vocabulary. My whole course is designed to give you a strong, basic foundation in the Japanese language that you can build solidly upon. So please click like, share, or subscribe and watch the next video in our series. Nihongo no benkyou ni ganbatte kudasai. じゃあまたね。